Happy Friday. I'm Jennifer from the Family Community Health Science Department of Somerset County, and I am here making a delicious family meal. Your family's actually going to love it. Riced cauliflower. This is something that has been, Nicole's saying hi. She's going to be really happy for lunch because I made this a few weeks ago and she tried it for the first time and really liked it. So if you haven't yet experimented with the riced cauliflower, you're going to see how quick this meal is because I'm making it and it's going to be ready. I didn't have to make a batch ahead of time to show you. So I have a large pan here, a nice big large pan with about a tablespoon of, I'm using canola oil. If you have sesame oil, you can definitely use that as well. So the pan is nice and hot, and I have a very small onion that I've diced up. So I'm going to add that to the pan. And just let that saute for about 3 minutes. The large pan is great because it has a big surface area. Yeah, I've made this. This is a favorite of mine. It's really a go-to when you want a comfort, healthy meal that you can literally make in, I would say, less than 15 minutes. I've already prepped all the ingredients. Now, when you're using the cauliflower, you can certainly just buy a head of cauliflower and just cut up the florets, stick them into a food processor, and pulse it until it is riced. I used frozen riced cauliflower, so it already is riced. I picked it up at Costco. I find that's the best value. You can get a huge bag of 5 individually 1 pound cauliflower. The quickest and most expensive way is going to the food store. In the produce aisle, they have individually boxed riced cauliflower that they've already pulsed. But it literally, if you have a food processor, it will take just a few minutes to chop up those florets, put them in the food processor, and do it yourself. You can make a big batch of it and then pop it in your freezer. So this way, when you want to make it, you have it ready to go, and that will last a few months in your freezer. Okay, so the onions are sauteed. Now for the vegetables, you can add any vegetables that you want. I have a cup of frozen peas, and I took a very large carrot that I had fresh and diced it up, and then I had a little bit of red pepper that I diced up too. So you could use a bag of mixed frozen vegetables, and just, if it's already mixed, 2 cups of that. If you have fresh vegetables, snow peas, broccoli would be great. I can already smell the onions. It smells delicious. So I'm just going to stir this around, let it get coated with the oil, and let that sit for a few minutes. Hey, Colleen. Now I love this because we love getting takeout. We love getting takeout Chinese food. And like I said, this is something super simple. If your kids like to help in the kitchen, they can definitely help make this. We're going to use shrimp today, but I've made it also with chicken. And a great shortcut, since this is September Family Meals Month, and you might be thinking of planning your meals ahead of time, if you happen to cook a chicken roast, or you buy a rotisserie chicken, and you have a little bit left over, you know, on the bone where you're picking that off, the next day making this would be fantastic because you already have the little bits of chicken left over, and that would be a great way to kind of maximize what you're cooking. All right, this is looking good. Just let that cook 1 more minute, just till the carrots get nice and soft. Now, while the vegetables are cooking at this point, if you were using raw shrimp, this is when you would add that in. And the raw shrimp, they look gray, right? It really only takes like 3 minutes to cook, and then when the shrimp is all done, they're going to be pink. I happen to have frozen cooked shrimp already, so I'm going to add this at the very end when I add the cauliflower. But the raw shrimp would go in right now, if you have that. You could also use tofu if you're a vegetarian and you don't want to use a meat protein or seafood. Okay. So the vegetables are done. Now we're gonna add a little garlic. I have 1 clove that I already peeled with my garlic press. Just gonna pop that in. It's gonna give it good flavor, and garlic is a great boost for our immune system too, right? Okay, let that saute just a few more seconds. Okay, so when you have fried rice, right, there's always bits of eggs in it. So what we're gonna do is slide the veggies over to the one side of the pan. So I have one side empty here. I have 2 eggs. I'm just gonna dump them in there and scramble them up. Just let that cook till they get scrambled. Okay, while that's getting scrambled, I'm just gonna dice up my scallions. This is gonna give it a nice fresh flavor, and it's gonna give it a nice pop of color with the greens. So you could use 2 or 3, whatever you have on hand. Has anyone ever made this before? All right, let's check our eggs. Almost ready, scrambling them up. We're also going to add a little bit of soy sauce in a few minutes. So there's no added salt to this because that's going to have enough. And I like to use a low sodium brand. That's the only spice flavoring that we're going to use. So the eggs are almost done. Okay, so the eggs are done. Now we're going to add the cauliflower. So here's your riced cauliflower. Okay, you're going to give that a nice stir. Let it get coated with the oil and the vegetables and the eggs. All right, at this point, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of the low sodium soy sauce. And it's going to brown up in color. You could use 2 or 3, your judgment. With this recipe, the measurements are really not exact. So it's kind of like your flavor preference, what you have. If you like things spicy, I'm not adding it to this. You can certainly add like a sriracha or a dash of hot sauce if you want. But like I said, Nicole enjoys this. She's not gonna like hot sauce on hers. Okay, so now my shrimp is cooked, but I'm gonna add that in here to get it warm and to get all the flavors added in together. Now because it's frozen, it is a little watery. So a tip that I would recommend if you are using frozen cauliflower rice, put it in a cloth or a paper towel and wring it out. And you know, like when you're defrosting things, there's that added water, that added moisture. Okay, we're just gonna heat this through. And this is looking so delicious. I love that I added the red pepper because that gives it a little bit of color. And we have the carrots and we have the peas. Okay, so our last touch we're going to add is the scallions. If you have ginger, if you like the flavor of ginger, you can also add that in. Okay, do you see how quick that was? All right, so let me get a bowl here. Show you how good this looks. All right, there's a lot of people watching live. I can't see all your comments now, but I can't see it. I'm gonna bring it to you. Probably made you dizzy there. Okay, so that's how that looks. Take a look at all those vibrant colors and the shrimp. Okay, let's give it a bite. It's fresh. I could taste the veggies. And like I said, the cauliflower will just pick up the flavors that you put in there. The garlic, the onion, the scallions make it really fresh. So definitely try this. I can't wait for Nicole to be done with her virtual learning. because she'll have lunch ready to go. So pop in the comments if you have any questions. I will share the recipe when I finish the live. I'll post it in the comments below. And have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching.